First of all, Roy, thank you so much for coming for.
Always a pleasure.
My pleasure. Pleasure is mine as well to have you name title podcast. How are you feeling today?
Very good. Nice to be here.
Nice
See your face again.
Oh, my pleasure. Good to see your face too.
Thank you.
Roy, for the podcast, I think we want to start by getting to know a little bit more about you. Of course, we've been having our relationship for almost 3 years now, isn't it? Because time flies.
Good time. Many years ahead.
Many years ahead. But tell me a little bit about you. So tell me who you are and what you do.
I'm Roy Allman from Allman Builders. You've seen videos that Nicole from Title has done. I'm a director of Allman Builders. Been in this now 18 years and growing very nicely.
Very nicely. Amazing. Tell me a little bit about your childhood. Where did you grow up?
In Kersley. I've never moved. My parents are still there now. And now I'm living on the same street as them. Always stayed there, been there since birth. Grown up very heavily into sports. Wanted to follow my father's engineering routes. Did all them things. Did YTS and all the stuff at school. Trying to find the path that you want to do. Been in the Marines. Swam heavily. National teams and things that you need to do. And then you're always in that line where you're thinking, am I doing the right trade? Am I not? When you're younger, you don't want to do that. You just progress, just carry on. You become complacent in what you're doing. But I wasn't happy in that. So I was interested in doing housing up and properties, which I did. Started doing those from when I was probably about 21 with a friend of mine. We started buying them and renting them out. And then I got offered an opportunity with one of my guys who was an investment guy to build properties at Moses Gate, which I did. And that business is one of the others that I've got, which is Allman Construction. Once I built those and I was in that path, I enjoyed it. And then I was offered the floods that happened in Hull for Highvale in Bolton, who I've done work for in the past, and did many, many houses for them. Once I'd finished those, you're on the path. And the first house that I did build is where I met my number one that works for me now and been with me from that point. Wow. So that was from 2008. So he's been with many, many years. And because we know each other very well, we do very well. And progressing now to where we're doing high-end builds and doing those kind of things that you've seen on the videos that have been produced from you.
What? Oh, thank you. So through your journey as well, what type of skill sets did you learn that you feel like now are crucial for you in business?
I didn't really train as a trade, and I never really have. I've just always been very good at organising and arranging, and I've always known things about all the trades because I've done them myself with houses that we've done. So I never really specifically did a joinery trade or bricklaying trade. I just knew what trades needed to do to get to the end result. So we always came good at organising and arranging things, which I'm very good at now, and communicating, which you have to be very good at to do anything in life. Always been hands-on. I always knew what to do and help lads because of the common sense. I think any trade is common sense. You need common sense. In building or any trade that way is common sense related. If you've got that, you're halfway there. The rest of it's a skill set which then you need to train, which today I don't think there is many unless you've got the older guys that are in the industry today to follow on from, because they're only doing college stuff, not learning from the things that need to be done on some of these older houses where you're doing roofs that match into existing or trying to build up houses that are matching into existing, which is why I've got a great team with Ian being behind me.
That's really good. Do you feel like there is a gap in terms of young people knowing the real traditional?
I've talked about this many times with many different guys, and I think in years to come, and I think in many industries it's the same. Trades that are coming through are not coming through fast enough. I don't know whether they'll have the skill sets to do the things that older guys are doing now. And it's a shame when the older guys retire because you're losing a great workforce, I think, and I don't think there's many people that can replace them unless they're that way inclined. But that's only a select few that would be. The rest are just learning things from the normal day-to-day site skills, which isn't the same as doing your day-to-day build skills, which I think are needed.
Brilliant. You mentioned about communication, and I know because we've been working for quite a few years now, and communication is something crucial. And I think, but you will tell me as well. Do you feel like it is a skill set that makes the difference between succeeding and not?
I think again in any industry, I'm up early in the morning, probably the same as more entrepreneurs in the businesses. I'm up early every morning between 4:30 and 5:30. Straight away, you're emailing clients of day-to-day things that are going on. I message clients at the end of days so they know what's happening the day after and what's been happening on that day, because people get scared. And if people don't communicate with them what's being done and what they're spending the money on you doing, I think it's not a right thing to do business with. I think if I was having a bill done and I didn't know anything, I'd want them to do things as I'm doing it now with clients that I've got. And in the future, you've got to communicate heavily. And I do, or else I can't rest at night. Every day I'll tell them what lads are going to be up to, as I've just said. And I just think it's a very important factor in life that any business, in any trade, whatever you do, communication is essential, which people don't do and let themselves so much down.
How do you feel like you gain those skill sets of communication?
I do to people as what I'd expect for myself. And that's how I've always been. I've always been that way. And that's why we're very good. And that's why every one of our clients will tell you the same. You've just got to do them things. Sometimes people don't like doing it. And I think in business, a lot of them won't succeed because if they create these things that you've created for us as a company and others, if they don't expect to be doing these kind of communicating skills moving forward, they'd fail. And the worst thing about it is because you've got them on the platform of social media, you can turn against them because they can then start writing reviews that you've not communicated where you should be. So you've got to be prepared to do all these kind of things, or else it's pointless being in business.
Yeah, definitely. I think we had that conversation as well. That it was the principle of gaining visibility, but unless you have a systems in place to handle the client and provide a great customer experience as well, that you're going to lose the client because the client will be annoyed at the fact that he's not aware of what's going on as well.
And I think any business you're in, no matter what field it is, every business being successful runs on the same kind of platform. It's just a different trade. They all do the same thing. If they're successful, they'll all do the same thing as you're doing. And if you're not doing what they're doing, you won't succeed. It's got to carry on. You can't just finish work and stop. It carries on as you probably do the same thing. It never stops.
Never stops.
Never stops.
I totally agree with that. In terms of, is there any experience that you had in your past? I mean, I can see for the facts of your discipline because I know that you still go to the gym, do exercise.
Yeah. Have to be focused.
Do you feel like that is a skill set that, again, you implement in your business, even for the fact of communications? Because maybe some people, they might feel like they could, but they don't because they don't have the discipline to do so. Yeah,
I mean, companies, if they've been successful for years or they've started growing and the guys or the women in the business are getting older, to go to that next level means they've got to do more work. So you've got to be prepared to do the communication thing that we've just discussed, which again means more work. I'm still that way and still driven that way. I think me going to the gym every day, which I've been this morning at 5 o'clock, keeps you focused on them things. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I concentrate on the business because I want it to get to where it can be. And I know it will do because I've got the guys that are with me. My main guy, Ian's there with me. I've got you guys with me. I've got many, many backers that will push me to where I need to be with what we've created. And I know that we'll get to where I need to get to with the kind of jobs that I'm going to get, with especially potential jobs that are due in the 2023.
That's very exciting. That's very exciting for that. What do you feel like it was the biggest challenge that you have during? Tell me, feel like it was the biggest challenge just before COVID?
Well, I was still before I met. This was before I met you, Nicole. Yes, so I think then it was. I was still getting work from insurers, Hypevale, and other companies, and insurance companies. But you're one of them relying on that source. COVID was. I was still all right because we were still good. We were still getting work from them. But I always wanted to break free. And you're always thinking, well, what if they don't pass you any work? What if there is none because of COVID coming up? What if it's going to slacken down because you can't go into people's houses no more? So again, you're then thinking of moving to that next uncomfortable stage, which is doing the social media thing, which was always on my mind. Because social media is massive in any field. Not expecting it to do what it's done for us. So I think that was the only uncomfortable stage for us, is thinking, is there going to be enough work? Because I didn't want to lose my lads. When you've built them up, you want to keep the guys that you've got because they've been with me so long. And I knew that was missing that link to get to this stage where we are now, where you go into that stage where you are going to be getting these kind of bills and you are going to be getting them kind of projects. So it was that. What do you do to move? Am I going to lose the business? Because at that time we were still doing the fire flood thing in Liverpool. There were still things going on prior to COVID, which we were still on. And now Build Your Own was 6 months in. So you used to get a 6-month job and then think, well, okay, I've got 6 months to get the next thing. But then things, months lapse and months go by quick. So you have to prepare. People need time. And COVID was there. So you're thinking, am I not? Am I going to do? Obviously, you came, the first job that we was on, Mourners, and did that. And from then, I've not had to worry about anything prior to COVID because I've met you, Nicole, and you've done what we wanted to do.
That's brilliant. What was your biggest fear when we start working together in the kind of the early stages as well?
I think again, people in this or any other industry wanted to do this with you. They're probably scared about, am I spending money on something that's not going to work? Because you have to spend quite a few thousand, and you've got to spend. People won't want to spend it; they'll be scared. But again, I'm always that believer, and it's been told for many a great entrepreneur that if you're not uncomfortable doing something in business, you'll never succeed. You've got to be in that uncomfortable stage to succeed and get. I think in any business, you've got to be uncomfortable all the way through it to succeed.
I won't go.
Else you'll never do anything with it. You can't just stay on a plane. You've got to go to the next steps. And then you're thinking about as well, because I am focused and I knew what would come, is the after work, not knowing it was going to do as much as what it has done, but you could go home tonight, for example. There could be 3 jobs come through. Now, we always do things late on. So it's all the stuff, it never stops. You've got to carry on. So it's them things that was more scary. What will I have to do to make this work? Will I be able to do these things? Can we get these jobs done if all these jobs come through? Will you look stupid? Will they start putting reviews on you if you've done something wrong? So them things are a bit nervy at the beginning, but I'm used to it now. It's what we do.
I think one of the things that I appreciate about working our work relationship and our partnership as well is the fact that you're really good in terms of the quality of the work that you provide. I mean, it makes our life easier when you do great quality jobs because and I mentioned to you before as well, we can help in terms of increasing your visibility, but visibility can be a blessing or can be a curse. It just depends on
exactly. Yeah, it can do both.
Can do both, and I mean the stories, the storytelling that we've been able to capture and then utilize that to put in bigger audience as well. It's been incredible. I mean, the work that you did with Mona, you change our life, and you know,
we love the product. And they all become good friends of ours, as you know. I mean, I could bring them up all the time. They're lovely people, and it's a shame you can't go see them every week, but you just end up being too busy to do them kind of things. I'll go and see some this Christmas from what we've passed, the videos that you're going to do. But yeah, Mona's was great because of her situation. I wanted to get her into the backyard. It was a nice thing to do. Matthews, again, that you've just done, a great thing to do because he wanted to create something. Yeah. We always do things for a reason. There's always things that trigger me to say, okay, I like this job, we'll do that. Because they've got to fit. They've all got to fit. Everything's got to fit right. If it's not right, I won't do them.
So you actually select the best possible jobs?
I'll select the ones that are right in between what we're doing because you've already got jobs that are being done. So they've got to fit with that. So you're not being too busy where then you're letting yourself down with the guys that I've got. Because you can only run so many jobs at once without looking stupid. You can't leave them so long without going back to the others and vice versa.
That makes perfect sense because it's about maintaining the quality of what you're delivering as well. Because would you say that, I mean, this is a friend of mine told me that a few years ago, that you're as good as your last job in the sense.
Yeah, of course. Same as you're as good as your last worker. So your worst work is only the same thing.
Yeah.
You can only do, many guys can take on 15 jobs, but then they'll get bad names from 5 of them because they can't do the same thing as they can on the first ones they're doing. And again, because you've created that, you've got to be careful you play them things because you can create your worst enemy by being where you are. Because everything's good that we're doing and we're getting great reviews and great feedback from the team and nice work. It's just a case of carrying on that. And if you start taking on too many, as Ian and myself both know, it can bite you on the backside quite hard. You've got to be careful. You've got to be careful.
Just be careful.
You've got to be careful.
If not, you're going to be a victim of your own success.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So we like to maintain the work that we've got and carry on doing that. So everybody loves, because they all spend a lot of money in today with gas prices, electric prices and fuel prices. It's a lot of money and I'm heartfelt on people that spend it because we've done it ourselves from my houses. And people spending 100,000, 200,000. It's a lot of money. So you don't want to do something that's going to upset them. You want them to at the end, when they've spent that money, be happy that they've spent that amount of money with me, not thinking, why have I spent that and what have I done that for? You want them to have a good experience as best they can with what they've spent on you. That's the way I see it.
Definitely. And I think that is it got to do with the values of your business as well.
Of course.
Yeah, because it's one, people are paying you, so you want to deliver the best.
Yeah, you want to have even though it's a stressful thing, builders being there every day of their life to the period of time they're doing the job, you want them to finish it and go, well, yeah, it was but I had a great builder and he was behind me and helped me and backed me. The team and Roy did everything they was going to do, and look at what we've created. Not, look what I've spent, I can't believe I've spent so much, all them kind of things. I don't want them to finish that way, and then they'll start passing your name on tenfold because of what you've created.
Yeah, is a kind of a combined effect as well. I mean,
catapult.
Catapult. Yeah, literally. I mean, I've been able to interview quite a few of your clients as well, and transform them into video as well, into content. But I mean, one of the things that I always say is the fact that you're just there. Just there. You and the team are always there.
And not a scammer, by the way.
No scammer.
That's a great point, As I'll speak to Matthew about that when I speak to him.
It was funny because the question that we ask is, would you recommend Roy to other people?
Yeah.
And then he was like, actually, nobody could be that nice.
Yeah, which is good. It's a nice thing. Great part of the video. Love that.
Yeah, but I think it was perfect, and we decided to introduce in the video because of that, because we just felt like it was so genuine, so human that is
which
important.
Is nice. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Which is nice. Yeah. And but again, and even Matthew, he mentioned that he considered you part of a member of a family.
Yeah.
So he actually misses being around you in the team.
Yeah.
What are how do you get to that stage of closeness with a client, in the sense that you become
communication? It's always communication. I speak to them a lot and I go and visit them every day. Lads are seen every day. Clients are seen every day. And I'll text them when I've been there. So they know, they feel safe about us being there and about what I do. And know that when I finished it all, it's going to be left that way because of how I am as a person. And my team, like I said, my team and I always deliver what we said we would. And when they can start seeing these things happen and you're doing everything you've said and you're keeping in communication with them, once you get to that point, they know that they're going to be looked after. So they feel safe and feel happy. And we have coffees with them, because you do. I'll go inside and speak to them all the time to feel comfortable with them, so they're all feeling that way. I think, again, you need time to spend time with clients. You do. You have to do.
And I think that's a great way of building business as well.
Yeah.
Because it's like you mentioned before, it's not about having thousands of clients. It's about having the right clients and giving them the appropriate time and a great experience, so they can, they will be your biggest marketing. And
1,000 known clients can't do better than 5 great clients who will pass on many, many words for you. You can't beat them. And everyone that we do will all do the same thing when we finished, as you're probably doing the videos, Nicole. And they'll all say the same thing, and I'll treat everyone the same way. There's no different treating for one. If somebody's having a smaller extension, I won't treat them worse than I will somebody doing a big one. I'll treat them the same all the way through. So when we leave, they'll be saying the same thing as all the others have said, and it'll marry on. You can't do so many videos and all say the same thing and be lying. It's got to be true. You're growing something, which we're doing a great thing. I think it's in a great place, especially ready for 2023.
What do you think is coming for Allman's Builders? How do you see Allman's Builders in the next 5 years?
Going from where we was when we first met to what we've got in the pipeline for 23 and 24, it's massive. You can go on and on. Again, you don't want to say things because they're not fully signed, but there's, from where you was when we first met to where we are now going into 23, I've got potentially 18 jobs going through planning. There's massive things that are looming over us to sign up, which are close. There's things we've already signed. We're doing commercial buildings that we've already signed, which you know about. It's a great place. And again, that's this year. So you're thinking, what's it going to be like next year? Because you've got them this year. It's going strength to strength all the time. I think it's going to be a great 23. Me and Ian and I always talk, as we do daily. And that's another part, speaking to your team. He knows what plans we've got and what I'm trying to create. So moving forward, I can have Ian doing more things that I wanted to do. So jobs are being done better than they are now. It's a good place.
It's a good
But like I
point.
say, you don't want to start saying things before they've been
It's
signed.
early, yeah. We'll keep in touch for
But
that.
it's a great, with what's signed up now and what's there and thereabouts, they've all used their architects, they've all used their inspectors. So you know they're going to be using you because they're trusting you already with the people that you've provided for them. So even being conservative, you know what's there and what you've got coming. I probably won't price or do any more work because of how many I've got there. It's that. So it's very good, very exciting.
Would you say that pretty much 90 to 100% of that business being generated because of the marketing activities?
Nicole, I could never praise you enough. All the work that we've got in now, they're all friends of people that we've done work for, but they've all seen the stuff that you've created. Social media's created all the work for us moving forward for next year. I might have one or two friends with big projects that come through, but they've seen all the stuff that you've done. And it's because you've done so many that they feel happy using you because you've created those things. So it's all more or less come from social media now. It's nice to run your own business knowing that it's all your own work. I don't need to do anybody else's work now. I won't do anybody else's work. I won't do anybody else's work who's been started, who's been done by defect by somebody else who's done a wrong job. I won't touch them because I don't feel it's the right thing to do. It's just solely our own work, which is what's been created from our first meeting, Nicole.
That's incredible. I'm pleased. I'm pleased because I think we've been a long journey from that call that we had during.
I'm not scared no more about doing this because I know what you're going to create and what things will be created from the videos that are being done and the weekly ads that are being done by your team. You know what's going to it prints itself.
And it's funny as well because I think like we always been very transparent as well. In the beginning, we didn't go actually nothing. In the first six,
you're magic, Nicole.
It was first 6 months.
You get scared because you start thinking I'm spending all this money, and it wasn't a great deal compared to what you're going to get. But you still think I'm spending money on something that I'm not used to, and what am I going to do with this? But you kept tweaking things, and I think even at some stages, Nicole, you were shocked how nothing was coming through with what we created. And then all of a sudden, boom, flashlight came on and it started. Slow as you promised, but it's now, like I said, you can get 7-8 jobs a week. It changes. As my lovely Eileen will tell you from the business suite that we've created on that, it just changes daily. You might get nothing for a month, and then you'll get 10. It changes. Yeah. It's crazy.
It was funny.
And that's now. Wait till next year.
Yeah. It was funny because I think we had that conversation quite a few times because you called me and I'm not getting
nothing's coming through.
And it was, and I mentioned as well that it was the fact that it was brand new. Yeah. It was brand new. We didn't have enough credibility because, and I think a lot of
you were shocked at the time though. You was wondering why it wouldn't come through because nothing was there, was it? Nothing was coming through at all.
Nothing was coming through. But now when we revise and trying to understand why, it was that you are Roy now and you have built your business through word of mouth in the real world. Yeah. And it's because people come, meet you, and then gradually they trust you.
And like us.
They like you. Like and trust. But then in the digital world, you didn't have any presence at that stage.
No.
So it takes time until people start to look, because again, they could think it was a scam.
Exactly. Which is a worrying time today because there's a lot that do get done over in the term. It's just not a nice thing. But with what you've just said then about visibility, it's nice now when you're doing jobs where I should imagine some builders will now because they don't do what we do, is they'll get a phone call, there's an extension, whether it be big or small, can you do it? They've only got pictures from a phone, which we used to do ourselves, can't call them, or you've got pictures that you've saved, I'll send you some pictures over, or here's a client you done, and then you have to ring the client to make sure somebody might ring you up. No, we don't do this because of what we've done. I can send them links over to our website that we've created, videos that we've done, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. You just send them links. It sells itself. I don't need to do anything normal with that. Or Eileen should have said, I'll send those over. And then they'll decide and give you a call back. Then they know about you before they even meet you. So it's just a great thing to do and so much more professional. It's insane.
It saved you quite a lot of time.
Because it sells itself. You show them what you do, and it's there. It's no lies. It's all there. Videos that you're doing are live, and if they want to ring those clients, by all means they can. not on the final.
Yeah.
You give them a call and speak to them.
Would you feel like now you feel a little bit more famous as well in social media with so many videos?
Not yet. I'm leaving that to you. It's coming. It's getting there, but it's just a case of getting the right target. But you're doing, Nicola, you're producing and delivering everything you've said you would for me.
I think part of the next goal is gradually transform into a kind of influence in the industry, because you have the expertise, you have the knowledge, you have the work that can back up, and you have a lot of years of experience as well. So I'm really excited. And a great team. Yeah.
You can't do anything without your team.
And
a great leader behind me, which is good. And I think, as you said before, what's in the future? It's very exciting because you're thinking from where you been when we first met to where we are now. What's 2 years going to be? Where we're going to be? Like we mentioned about Instagram, we're going to do things on there. It's massive. I mean, we're not even touched there's nothing been touched at all yet. Not even done anything yet. But from where you are, from where you was, it's incredible. I can't complain at all.
Really,
it's exciting. No need to worry about any kind of recession with Allman Builders. There's nothing, because the jobs that we're doing are professional clients who's got money, want to do these things in the houses, whether they've got money or worrying about bills at this stage because of the kind of clients they are. So you've made yourself recession proof. And again, thanks to Title Productions.
Thanks for our partnership. Thanks for our partnership. No, it's good. It's good to see that because of those times. I think there is the fear, but I think it's important as well to protect against scammers as well. What advices would you give to people that are in the search of builders? What advice? What they should look at?
I think again, in anything, if people are spending any kind of money, whether it be 10,000, 15,000, 100,000, doesn't matter. You still should check the people that you're getting, check the past work, check on company's house, check about people that they've done work for, meet the people that you're going to do the back work and homework that you have to do to make sure you get the right kind of guy. I think today, doing a guy, they look all right, is the wrong way to. You need to check. You need to do your homework and make sure things are being done, because if you don't, you might get bit, and that's the way it is. Many times and many weeks we have conversations with other people that have been done by previous builders and they've done this wrong. But that's not just in building industry, that's in all industries. I just think people need to check more and do the homework before they start signing contracts. And signing contracts, we do that. People don't. If they're not doing that for somebody who's spending the money that we do jobs for, why would you use people like? Why would you use them? You've got to do your checks and make sure they're right and do a lot of homework. Ring people up and ask. And if you don't, it's your own fault. That's basically it, isn't it? Because there's nothing you can say to other people if they don't want to do the homework or check and just think the guy in the corner's done a good job. That's not enough today. You need to do things. Money's hard to get. And we feel for those people that have been ripped off or done with bad workmanship. I feel for them. It's a shame. But you just got to do your homework.
Yeah. I feel like the more I speak with clients as well, especially
in any industry,
in any industry, there is that fear of being in a bad position where you have a bad work.
Spending money because they've saved it up, and once they spent it, it's gone. They can't get another money out of the pot and pull some out. You can't do it. It takes a long time to earn. I just think they have to do the due diligence and check the people that they have to do work for and make sure they've done everything that they said they're going to do. Have they done those kind of jobs? And this is in any industry. Have they done, if you're building an extension, what kind of extension are you building? Okay, well, what extensions have you done that look like mine? What past background have you had that do them kind of things? How long have they been in the industry for? Checks. How long does it take them to respond back to you? Communication. Do they speak to you after hours? My Eileen will talk to clients 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night. I respond back to them at 4 o'clock in the morning with after hour service. If they don't do these kind of things, are you happy working with them? Them kind of things.
Yeah.
Checks.
I think those are crucial as well, because it's that fear. What if they are not there? We already paid,
Yeah, if I'm checking a guy now and he's not getting back to me in 2 or 3 weeks, well, what's he going to be like when he's building my house? And he's not doing anything in the industry. If they're not responding back by email, why am I using these people? You know what I mean? If they're not communicating with costings and things that you have to do, check.
just what would you say? Because I mean, you're quite successful as well.
Yeah.
You've been inspired quite a lot of other, and you will inspire even more
Oh,
builders
yeah.
as well
Which
to
is
achieve
good.
to achieve what you've been achieving as well. What would you say are your 5 tips for success
In business,
in business? Yeah.
I don't like scaring people, Nicole. It worries me, as you probably know yourself. 5 tips in business. Prepare to have a hard time. Make sure you don't have an afterlife. Make sure you put everything you can into your own business first, because that's first and foremost everything that you're doing. Communication is a massive part. Nicole there from Title Productions is another must, because if you don't have you can't do what you need to do project.
That's very kind.
And the right team, because if your team are not right, you won't be right, and you won't make any money if your team are not good. And livery. I think if people are not wearing your own livery, how can people see you? It doesn't look right when you've got one guy wearing an orange top, one guy wearing a blue top, one wearing green pants. You need to wear the same stuff. The branding's got to be right. And I think if you start thinking about all the costs that you've got to do to make the business right, you've got to start off doing those things. I know it's hard because people don't start off with money where they can do them things. But you've got to think about how will you look on that first job. If you don't look right, you're just the same as everybody else. You've got to be different than everybody else.
Yeah, being different as well. And probably I would add the discipline, because you're one of the most disciplined persons I know. You know, I mean, going to the gym. And even with food as well. I remember many times we went to have a coffee, and you're just extreme with food as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you've got to be some people like a drink. Some people like going playing golf. I like going to the gym. It just de-stresses me. It makes me feel fresh and ready. If I don't do that, I don't feel like I'm in the right place. I've always gone to the gym. I've always done physical exercise. So it's my life. Like I said, I don't drink, only on social. We don't smoke. And because you're working late, because you're up early, I need that as a focus tool. That's my thing. And I think, again, when you're in business, if you don't have that, you'll not succeed. You need something to focus on where you can have that bit of a break and then carry on. You can't just carry on. You need that break to do something that you do that keeps you back in the game.
Yeah. That kind of your own time.
As you probably do the same thing. There's always something that we have to do.
Yeah. Definitely. I totally agree. I feel like going to the gym in the morning, it just gives you that time to think, to reflect. And funny enough, a lot of great ideas come from me, in particular, when you are in the gym.
Yeah. Or whether you go for a walk, or whether you go for a run, no matter what you do. Go and play golf in the morning, go and cut a tree down, whatever you do, you need to do something that makes you think and get fresh and back on the game so you can start in the day. Yeah. My team know that I'm that way inclined, and they're lucky that they've got me, because I am that way. I will be up at 4 a.m, 5 a.m, and do the stuff I have to do, or I'll be up late and carry on, because clients will call you at night. If you're spending that kind of money in any industry or whatever, they'll ring you when they finish work and they've sat and had the tea, and they'll see the clock and say it's 8 o'clock. Well, we'll ring Roy up. Not thinking that I've been on the phone since 5 in the morning. Yeah. It doesn't matter. And so you have to be prepared to do them things. Same at weekends. Saturday afternoon when they've had the breakfast, they'll give you a ring. Oh, I've been right up now. Not thinking again that it's my time off. But I don't mind if people need to speak to me and they're spending, so I'm fine with that. But again, you have to be committed to do them kind of. If you don't get it, you might lose your job by not answering that call on Saturday afternoon, or Sunday afternoon, or Sunday night. I'll be on the phone to your assistant because she's getting messages. You've got to be prepared. It takes time and effort.
A lot of discipline as well.
Lots of, yeah. I mean, I'm 50 now, and you're still getting messages and still getting stuff and doing more work now than what I've ever done. Part of that is because you're calling, but it's there. Yeah, but it's there. Yeah.
There is a blessing, and there is
a blessing. But it's hard. If you, with what you create, even though I've got the team, if you can't do that, you'll not succeed. It'll bite you on the backside hard.
Yeah, that's exciting. I'm really, really excited for. I'm excited for what you already been achieving, because you had the discipline to handle it as well.
And you knew that.
Yeah, I knew that. I think when we had the first conversation, straight away I knew. I think you can do it. But then it was about adjusting and helping, and we quite exciting for 2023, because I think it will be a great year. It will be a great year. Any other advice for young people, especially? I mean, there is quite a lot of, because the country itself going into a recession. I think the world pretty much. A lot of people, I think they might want to switch careers, or they want to, start their own business. what advice would you give to young people? I'm talking about 18, 19 years old going out.
With regards to leaving college and leaving school?
Yeah, so where they can get the opportunities? Would be the opportunity in opening their own business, would be the opportunity in working for a business?
I think with what's needed in business, as you probably know, is not an easy path. I think they need to be taught and put in a career path where they think they're happy with, then carry on into a business, because you can't just jump into a business. It's too hard. Did not succeed with the money they have to spend and the competition that they have. It'd be hard work, I think. And it's not that. I think as a young child, people spending money won't want to spend it with a younger guy. They like spending it with an older guy who's been in it because they feel safe with that. And again, I think that's the same in any business.
Yeah.
The longer you've been in it and the more you're in it, the more you'd get, because you've been successful in them amount of years. And moving forward, they'd want to spend it with you. They won't spend it with a younger guy. And if you went for a job and you was going for it together, if you told them the time you've been in it compared to what they'd go for the older guy all day, like it's fact, it would happen. So I think for a younger guy today, find the career path you want to do, learn from good guys that are in that industry. But again, if you like going for a drink and you like going out at weekends, you need that time to grow before you start thinking, I want a business, because it's going to take your time, all of your time, all your effort. I know guys now that are 60-year-old that have set up a business now, and they're doing the work and hoping to set these businesses up to sell in years to come, but they're doing more work now than what they've done in the working life because they've set up their own business.
Jesus, it was that worth?
With what they're creating, yeah, they're happy to do that. They like working, but they're doing it now on their own. But they're doing more work now than what they've done in their working life because of what they have to do with their business. As you know, Nicole, it's hard work. So I think anybody leaving college, find your path, learn from good guys, read and research, check, do a few years, get your skill sets, and then start thinking about getting a business. I think just jumping straight into it is hard. I don't think many would succeed if they did that because they've not got the skill sets to do that. That's in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. I think even to be able to handle the pressure as well, I think it will be considerable more hard, and not impossible, but it will be considerable more hard.
And conversations, if people are talking to you and you've not got the experience to answer some questions.
Thank you so much, Roy.
Thank you.
And guys, just pay attention for the next Untitled podcast. Thank you.